This 20-year-old secret event was completely transformed in this Pokémon remake. It's been 2 whole decades since the Aurora ticket was officially given out to players for a limited time in 2004.
And those lucky enough to receive the ticket could find themselves on the shore of Birth Island, where they could encounter the mysterious space invader Deoxys in a rather simple event.
But it seems as though Game Freak thought this concept was too interesting not to expand on, creating an entirely new story focused on the revival of the planet's protector Rayquaza, as only its mega form can save the Earth from a deadly meteor inhabited by the mythical Pokémon Deoxys. This 20-year-old secret event was
Got in a car accident? Don't call a lawyer. Use this free AI tool instead. That's how I walked away with $93,000 from what they called.
To qualify to top 8 losers, or it was in top 8 losers. I remember Cosmos making a crazy run that day, kind of turning back the clock a little bit, right? Because at the beginning of the game, he's one of the best players in the world. Has kind of not really done a whole lot since then, but is still, pretty well known. And Spargo, obviously, no introductions needed for sure, but this is going to be a banger for sure. The Aegis Ditto, something that we might be foreshadowing later, assuming Spargo and Leo make their runs. We might be seeing this Aegis Ditto later.
That might be an interesting thing to look at, right? Because, just now, Cosmos actually got done beating Juanpi, who is also an Aegis player. He's a Mario Aegis player, and it was looking kind of close at certain moments. Obviously, Cosmos managed to close it out, but I don't know if this is necessarily his strong suit, right? But neither can we say the same about Spargo, because, as far as the Ditto goes, sometimes there are so many factors that can really plug into what really goes on, specifically in the matchup, and sometimes it's about momentum, sometimes it's about just being a tad bit cleaner than the other guy. Today, we'll see who gets to strike first. So far, Spargo with the lead and trying to increase it a little bit more.
Absolutely. This matchup's very execution based, and the thing is, Spargo's well, why don't you just go Cloud? Well, the thing is both Cloud and Aegis, both are very susceptible to disadvantage. If they lose it, this is if you don't have a jump, you die. Right there, if he doesn't pull the trigger, if he charges that forward smash, he might actually be able to hit him. So doesn't work out the way that he wants to, but trying to empty hops, you see the old school style of neutral from Cosmos, where there's a lot of empty hops and stuff like that.
Yeah, he does really like to do that. Maybe some full hops by center of stage. Absolutely, I agree that is the style that we get to see from him. Actually, we usually used to see him charge the forward smashes a lot more by the ledge before. Now a lot more ledge trapping. Yeah, there we go. Just in time. Okay, right now, Downer almost doing it, even though it was not the spike hitbox. Looking for one last chance to maybe make the stocks even before losing that one, because the percents are just looking so red.
Yes, absolutely. Next big hit will probably kill both sides. A nair, a back air, forward air. We already see the up air as well, obviously over-reliable, but yeah, like the thing about the Aegis Ditto is in 1 or 2 neutral wins and you clip a jump, you get the kill. Like that's just the it's so volatile. And then, like you said, it's about who's playing better that specific day. And that's, you know, like we said earlier, this is kind of like foreshadowing what Spargo's going to have to deal with tomorrow. But
and
just like that.
Classics, bro.
Yep.
Just using the foresight perfectly to punish something that you usually maybe wouldn't be able to do so. And again, the execution test comes into fruition. Now with the control center of the stage, Cosmo is going to try to make up for this percent deficit. Missing the tactics on the platform right now. And Spargo with the right DI not to give him too much. And honestly, great that Cosmo still managed to pick it up. And foresight by foresight, not as strong a punish as we saw from Spargo, though.
No, not at all, for sure. And just like that, though, kind of back to this neutral situation. I mean, we see Spargo already at the triple digit on that second stock. If Cosmos can find this stock without losing too much damage, this could potentially be even, could turn the tides in his favor. But at the ledge, not much is to be done here. So you got to be careful if you're Cosmos. The switch right there doesn't make it in time for the footstool, is able to shield too. So still kind of not out of the hot seat just yet. Does get the stock. 66 is not a lot of percent, so definitely still anybody's game here.
Manages to sneak that one in. Usually positioning for that particular punish kind of difficult to do, but Cosmo still managed to find a window of opportunity to do so. The perfect spot that's coming in from Spargo to allow him to set up perhaps for the kill, and yeah, it will. I thought at first that it was going to be through an edge guard. However, we are going vertical this time. Spargo strikes first. However, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually see an answer from Cosmos.
Yes, absolutely, because like you know, we see some of those players.
You
yeah, it makes for great progress eventually when you do come back. So, gonna opt to change the scenery here with Battlefield. I mean, you just want to pressure on these platforms a lot more. The top blast zone's a little higher, so you want to be able to live those down tilt up airs that we saw Spargo win game 1 with. So, definitely opting to live life a little longer. But you know, this stage also, I mean, it's pretty good for both characters. I mean, it is the Ditto. So
absolutely, and I think that the thing is that even though of course you can survive the uppers a little bit more, you do open up setups for like potentially an up B kill from Pyra, and even the smashes from Mythra can definitely work out a couple of surprises. You know, if the circumstances allow it. Here comes the edge guard. You don't go out. Oh, I mean, it's not like you could have at that point of your Cosmos. However, like you mentioned, that extra bit of verticality gonna allow him to survive the perfect third to continue on with the punish. Now we're changing the tides for just a quick second. Cosmos decides to commit with that dash attack, and even though usually, you know, a pretty good option, gonna end up with a massive punish. Spargo is never going to forgive that time.
Yeah, absolutely. And like just like B reversing the up B was really unfortunate. If he would have just upbeat it normally, I think he would have been fine towards the ledge. But regardless, here we go. Trying to find footstool.
he got messed up by the platform.
Yes, and these are the platforms do affect the setups, do affect the certain options that you want to do. Yeah. But regardless, this is scary right here, especially on that top platform. Some of those situations really make it difficult.
Oh my God! What?
Oh,
no way!
That's
the reversal of fortunes, bro.
That's the Mexico plot armor right there, man.
That absolutely is. Estoy in Mexico.
Yeah.
And I'm from here, bro. What?
The power up is real.
Oh,
any one of us would have died there. But no, it had to be him. It had to be him.
I think Cosmos needs a couple more years living here to get that type of plot armor, you know?
Yes.
Oh, man. Bit of a toughie there, but nonetheless, Spargo's gonna thank his lucky stars and take this further, looking for the 3-stock. He actually almost managed to get that downer to rib, and it could have maybe turned into an up smash. The air dodge has been spammed. Yeah. Beautiful coverage. Just using as many active frames as you can to deny that recovery.
Yeah, especially waiting for the switch too. Just charging it just because of the switch. Because if you do whiff, then you just get reversal like we saw earlier. So still not very good. They both do it. It's like the Toy Story meme, the row of Buzz Lightyears. They all just do the same thing at this point. So.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of them. Oh, here you go. Rolling into him at the ledge. Interesting there from Cosmos. This last stock, I don't know how much juice you're going to be able to squeeze out of it, just given the circumstances. Spargo trying to let rip a couple of heavy options by the ledge. He doesn't even have to force the switch at this point. He's just comfortable staying with the Mythra. But finally, fire comes out. Cosmos obviously got to try to punish that limited mobility of hers.
Oh, the air dodge. That was really good, but the tech.
No.
Are we going to get a punish? The Trump, the one home, still finds the fair anyways.
What if I told you some sophisticated investors aren't just buying Bitcoin, they're actually producing it at a discount. They're building institutions.
You know, I was just sitting out on the back porch this morning, drinking my peppermint tea and watching the sun come up. It really makes you think about how fast time has right on by. I decided that this was the year I was finally going to get my backyard garden.
This Pokemon was never supposed to exist, but a developer snuck it into the game without telling anyone. 2 weeks before the launch of Pokemon Red and Green, Shigeki Morimoto secretly added Mew to the game without even telling Nintendo. He had to design Mew himself instead of getting the main head artist Ken Sugimori to do it, which is why the original sprite was so ugly. Shigeki never intended players to find it and only planned to give it to staff members and close friends, but an unintended glitch caused some players to encounter Mew in the wild during normal gameplay. Nintendo started getting calls from players asking about the secret Pokemon they had found, so Game Freak then had to quietly tell Nintendo that their programmer had snuck a whole new character into the finished game without telling anyone. Normally a stunt like this would land you in trouble, but Pokemon's creator Satoshi Tajiri proposed that Mew could be used as a promotional tool. They then ran a distribution event in April 1996 where 20 winners would get the chance to send their cartridge to Morimoto, who would personally trade a Mew onto their game. And now Mew is one of the most popular Pokemon of all time. This Pokemon was never
worst items that you could get in Pokemon. Back in the early 2000s, Pokemon fans were discovering all kinds of new things in the Generation 3 games like Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. These games had introduced brand new features, stronger graphics, and even a more secure save system. However, hidden inside the code
Get ready to start. Begin.